the voice of the people, broadcasting from the radio house here in Ashiro, Abeokuta Citizens Forum this morning. Dele, Ayodo is my name.
And I am Tobi Joseph. Like I mentioned earlier, we have in the studio the Speaker of the Ogun State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Suraj Adekunbi. And I mentioned earlier that we'll be looking at the close-by-close amendments of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Not in its entirety, but of course the ratification process by the 36 state houses of assembly across the country. Well, it was the turn of the Ogun state governments to look at all these amended clauses, and they've been doing this for some time now. And of course, the past 16 of the amended clauses are rejected 4 of those clauses. Let us quickly look at a list of those 4 that were rejected. Well, the National Assembly amended the Constitution to scrap the joint state and local government account. And of course, the State House Assembly rejected this amendment. And also, the continuous withdrawal from the consolidated revenue account by the President after the expiration of the yearly budget. The National Assembly reduced it to 3 months. Before now, it was 6 months. So that means the State Assembly still believes that the President can continue to withdraw for the next 6 months. You also have a ban on anyone who succeeds the president or governor and finishes the term of that president or governor from contesting more than once. So what does that mean? It means somebody, let's go back in history. You have former President Dr. Dele Jonathan finishing the term of the late Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, and he contested in 2011 and also contested in 2015. Now, what that amendment is seeking is that in that scenario, former President Goodluck Jonathan shouldn't have contested the election in 2015 after he contested in 2011. And of course, those are the 4. Now, if you look at so many things approved, a lot of people have talked about independent candidacy. That is what we want. That is what we need. That was approved. You also look at the age limit. Don't forget that the not too young to run bill generated a lot of excitement and, of course, furore when it was introduced to the National Assembly. And a lot of people believe that the youth should take over and be given the opportunity to take positions of leadership and, of course, try their luck. Well, that was approved. The age limit now for presidency has been reduced to 35 years. And of course, for you to be a governor or a senator, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, once you are over 30 years of age, you can vie for this position.
Okay, those are some of the details that were presented to the Houses of Assembly and resent to them for that ratification. But for the purpose of this audit, we will be concentrating majorly on those ones rejected by our own representatives, members of the House of Assembly here in Ogun State. And with us, as announced earlier, is the Speaker, Ogun State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Suraj Adekunbi. Mr. Speaker, you are welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Dele Ayodo.
Now, Mr. Speaker, let's start from the first one. This Joint Account Committee of the State and Local Government.
What
necessitated the rejection?
I want to say very good morning to you all and all the good people of Ogun State. Indeed, there was a kind of list up because we actually passed 18, not 16. We passed 18, not 16.
Yeah.
And on the issue of states and local government joint accounts, when you look at the whole thing very well, especially with the current reality on ground, our constitution stipulate 3 tiers of government though. But when you look at the current reality on ground, you know quite well that our local government cannot do anything without the support of the state. And the situation where we have actually uh, had several approaches to this very lingering issue. And you could see that at the moment, the best we could do to give our people that sense of belonging at that level of government is just for the state government to see that whatever that is happening at the state level, same uh, must be
applicable.
presented, applicable at the local government level. And during the course of this current ongoing constitution uh, process, uh, there are a lot of issues that came up. Some people believe that giving them the opportunity to have a kind of access to their allocation directly from the federal consolidated referendum will do a lot of good than what we are having at the moment. But when you look at the whole thing very well, thank God that whatever that is given every month is being uh, published in all the dailies. And you could see that to a great extent, some of most of these allocations of monies accrue to them. Uh, they have one obligation or the other to fulfill. And of course, if they should be allowed to handle it the way it is, definitely there won't be a kind of balances. Some will have that opportunity, some will have the advantage over others based on the rating probably from the RAFAC. But the governors, in their own wisdom, they have really carried a lot of burden for the local government. And I want to say that before we got to this level, there was a kind of technical committee set up by the Governors Forum and the Conference of Speakers. And there we are able to come to the round table and had a discussion regarding most of these salient issues. And there we were able to understand some things regarding the funding of local government. And by His grace, we we actually came to term on how best to keep that tiers of government running. And of course, that was exactly what necessitated the rejection of.
So what advantage will this rejection have on local government administration?
I just mentioned that if we should allow the something to operate the way it is, definitely some of our local government around will definitely have enough. Will definitely have enough to assess, while some might not even have anything to do. And
Now, let's further expand this, speaker. Let's remind ourselves how we got to having the joint account committee of local government. It was not so in 1999-2003 era. By 2003, many of these local government have so much borrowed from banks and other places. And when allocation were coming, it gets to what they call zero allocation. So there were local governments 2, 3 years were receiving zero allocation. So it was now important, well, for those who call me that, okay, the state who were also being used as a collateral assisting those local governments were then have to now come in, which was why how we got this jack thing.
of course,
So but now we still have so many. Let's use Ogun State, for example, okay, which we understand. We've been told that not more than 3 of the 20 local governments can on their own stand. So if this is the situation, and then a state government that has been helping them will no longer be able to do it. Of what advantage would this have?
Well, the truth is, no local government, to me, of course, based on our constitution, they are another type of government. And just like you have already put it, if the state government has probably not got involved in the activities, we don't know what will have become of them by now. I just mentioned that when you look at the publication regarding monthly allocations, you will see how the thing is being done. And I just mentioned that they are having publications to to sort. And of course, there is no way that we will say a state government is functioning well without talking about local government. And to a great extent, we could see that this jack of a thing, they normally engage all the chairmen to see to themselves the situation report as far as their activities and finances are concerned. And for us in the House of Assembly, of course, we have that constitutional responsibility to oversee the activities of the local government. And to a great extent, we have been doing our bit. And of course, if, like I just said, that if three, based on the report, three local government, there are some three local governments are viable, what will become the fate of the remaining 17 and other, that's the remaining 17? So in such a situation, it will amount to, you know, same issue. And in a way that, of course, when you look at the way the whole thing is being structured, when we are talking about the local government staff, they can transfer from one place to the other within the state. So in such a situation, since they are one, and we are having one local government service commission, and the umbrella body of the civil servants in that particular tier of government. So in a situation like that, I believe that if they can transfer a staff from one place to the other, there's nothing stop us from having a kind of platform that will see to the welfare of everybody. Because of great importance at the moment is the wages and bills of our
Local government.
local government, and that has really taken serious toll on the system. And as we speak today, I believe that by doing so, it will really give everybody that opportunity to operate as a local government or as a separate, as a tiers of government at that particular level.
All right, right, Honorable Speaker. What would be your reaction to a school of thought that it is the governors of the Federation that influenced the decision of the 36 State House of Assembly to reject this scrapping of joint state and local government accounts because they want to continually be in control of the local government?
Well, I want to say that everybody is entitled to their opinion as a citizen of this great country. I believe that what we are doing at the moment is not the first of its kind. Probably this will be the fourth alteration since inception of the current republic, and of course, uh, I want to say emphatically that our own governor here in the state has never in any form uh, got involved in the activities of the house regarding this particular process. Of course, as the governor of the house, he has every right to liaise with the assembly, with his assembly, at least to know what is happening and to know what is in the offing for the good people of Ogun State. And of course, the National Assembly, they have done their own bit. They have done their own bit, and of course, at that level too, they have a way of relating with the other two arms of government at that level. So, at our level here too, I believe that the executive and the assembly and judiciary at our level, we have a way of relating
Now,
on the issue of common interest.
Now, Speaker, isn't it ironic that the State Assembly passed local government autonomy, passed the State Assembly autonomy, yet refused to allow financial autonomy for the local government? How do you reconcile this?
Well, I want to believe that the uh, the bill, that particular bill uh, that was separated by the National Assembly, they had their own reason of doing so. Since they had their own reason of doing so, at our level here too, because these clauses be taken one after the other. In fact, we had a series of engagements. We have Friend of Democracy led by Senator Mamora. We had seminars. We had engagement with non-governmental organizations, all the civil society. We were engaged. We were educated on the implications of our actions and inactions. So as we speak today, if the National Assembly deemed it fit to have separated the two, I think we were given the opportunity to really take our time and do a kind of engagement regarding the two. If the two are probably had been put together, probably wouldn't have had the opportunity of rejecting one. But of course, you need to know the what is attached to each of the bill.
Now, let us go to the issue of consolidated revenue accounts. After the expiration of the annual budget, many people believe that it is wrong for the president to unilaterally continue to spend and withdraw from the CRA when the annual budget is not in place, which is usually appropriated by members of the National Assembly. Uh, why did you reject this
When you look at the situation of things at the moment, probably we are in the first quarter of the year, and at the National Assembly, the process is still ongoing, the
budget?
budget is still ongoing, and we don't know when the budget is going to be passed. So, in such a situation, you need to work on the current reality on ground. Like in Ogun State today, we normally have our bill signed into law before the end of that particular fiscal year. And of course, in a situation like that, when we have such a system, definitely we can call for this. We wouldn't want a situation. Okay, we are in the probably we are moving towards the end of the first quarter of the year, so we are still expecting the National Assembly to do the needful regarding the passage of the appropriation bill. So we don't know what is going to happen based on what has been happening in the past. So there's no point for us, dissipating unnecessary energy on what is not.
All right. Yes, Daybreak Show Citizens Forum this Monday morning with us is the Speaker, Ogun State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Suraj Adekunbi. Start sending your messages 32120 for the short code. Our Twitter handle is at Rock City FM. And of course, you can also participate using our Facebook page. We'll take your messages as they come. We'll take this short music break. We'll be back. Oh, yes, sir. Thank you. The land is green, making it greener is what we are taking. We are looking at some constitutional provisions, amendments as it affects us here in Ogun State. That's why we have with us the Speaker, Ogun State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Suraj Adekunbi. Okay. Okay, we talked about the jack, we talked about strategy. Can we talk to one other thing that so many Nigerians have also been speaking about? Some people have said denial of rights. This refusal to permit somebody who is fortunate to inherit a term, a tenure, and then continue having its own. What necessitated that thinking?
But when you will recall that during the days of the former President Jonathan, uh, you could see all the ulabalu around the whole issue. And of course, I think we need to learn from the mistake of the past. And nobody ever prayed for the situation we actually found ourselves in. And of course, like the professional used to say, you don't make love for the specific. But in a situation like this, in order for us to prevent us of a crisis in the nearest future, I think we need to include that in our constitution at the moment, since everything is about constitution, everything is about constitutional issue. I think the best way for us is to take a very good care of that particular provision.
But some people say the way it has been taken care of is to react to the immediate issue and not look beyond that immediate issue into the future. Because we all know that part of the problem, again, former President Jonathan himself had was because people do not want him to now have his own, but which was his right.
I disagree with you because
Okay.
people voted for him.
No, people, but we all know
People voted for him.
That was when he has been presented. There was no longer choice for people
for
to
the
vote.
fact that he lost to the current ruling party, so people voted for him. I think we need to take care of that particular. We need to make provision for that particular area in case of reoccurrence in the nearest future. Nobody ever prayed for such, and of course, it's a fundamental issue. It's a constitutional issue, and no better time to do it than now. I want to appreciate the fact that the National Assembly looked, into it, and we believe that by doing so, I think that it's something probably that will happen probably once in a century. You understand my point? That of course, when we have a law, a provision for such, there won't be any cause for any problems. Of course, it will call for simple interpretation.
Mr. Speaker, let me also get your opinion as a lawmaker, as a speaker. This amendment to you, do you think it went far and reaching enough to solve many problems Nigerians are crying for?
Of course, thank God you have been part and parcel of the process from day one till now. And the National Assembly, in their own wisdom, they actually had another approach to the alteration by actually putting it in probably clause by clause, unlike in the past that the whole thing will just be made as a bill. So once you reject once, everything goes. But as we speak today, it was done, it was actually done on a separate bill. So each item goes with a bill. So in such a situation, I believe that they have really done justice to the whole thing because of the fact that there is a kind of engagement of all the stakeholders before they arrived at what we are working on at the moment. And when we came on board too, like I've said earlier, there were a series of engagements with all the stakeholders. The whole thing started probably 2016, and you could see the gestation period. You could see the time lag. You could see you could see that with that has provided the opportunity for people to have their input. And part of what we are doing today is still part of the process.
You know why I asked this question? Because you've just said this about the fourth operation, and then there is a very salient area there that people have thought will have been touched. The constitution today has not assisted Nigerians to enforce their state rights, the right to be provided with security by the state, the right for the state to provide health, basic amenities. Then the constitution better not enforceable by anybody. That more efforts should have been done to ensure that some of these things that will have direct impact on Nigerians will have been touched.
Well, I believe that the interpretation of our constitution to me is relative. Relatively, it depends on the individual. Like in our state today, we have a government in place who is responsible to the welfare and security of the people of Ogun State. And I want to believe that that should happen at all levels. It should happen at in all the states of the federation, and of course at our level here too, with the simple interpretation of what is expected of a state. I think to a great extent we have been working around the clock to ensure that we put all of those in place in terms of basic amenities. At least our people could have access to the basic needs of life. Of course, some people, there could be complaints here and there. It's natural because of the fact that we have to start from somewhere, especially the current administration. And this, you yourself can confirm that to a great extent we have actually left no stone unturned
All right,
in the course of doing this to the people of Ogun State.
all right, Honorable Speaker. The most exciting of all these amendments is the not too young to run bill, which was passed. You've approved that the age limit for presidency is now 35 years. That was reduced. And now, for you to become the governor or a senator in your state, you can vie once you are 30 years of age. Now, how was this possible? What necessitated this amendment, if you were to look at it critically?
So when you look at the whole thing holistically and critically, you could see that responses, complaints by the public, especially the youth, to me is what actually necessitated that particular provision. And of course, somebody at the age of 30, I believe that no better time to get involved in the in the scheme of things shouldn't be no better time other than that time. You have all the energy of this world. In terms of everything, you have the potential and you have that say to contribute your own quota to the development of your area. And of course, I want to believe that given this kind of opportunity will create avenue for our youth to have to get involved in the polity, and I want to encourage them as well to have that confidence that we can spirit should be called to play.
Have you looked at the negative side of this? Because this may just throw up the space or open up the space for just every Tom, Dick, and Harry to begin to vie and to become governor and then start pasting their posters here and there.
But I disagree with you because when we are talking about constitutional issue, as a citizen of this country, you have that constitutional right to vote and to be voted for. Of course, if you meet up with all the necessary requirements, I see no reason why you cannot fight for anything. It's now depend on the people to give you their vote or not. If you're able to sell yourself to the people, what you have for them, and your determination to probably, do your bit for them in terms of good governance. It's up to the people to determine that. Everybody is free to exercise his or her right as a citizen of this great country.
Now, the accusation or allegation of coming from many youth is that they have not been given the opportunity and chance in the political parties as we have them structured now to vie for these positions. For example, they believe that if they approach many of these political elders or party leaders in this party, they will tell them, Kotikoi, it is not yet your turn, go and sit down or lotto. That is the usual balance, lotto. And then they always give it to those who are older or more experienced, as it were, politically. Now, if you look at this, putting it side by side by the approved independent candidacy, can it fly?
Well, it depends on individual. If you are confident enough and you know that your people will support you, why can't you just fly the cat? You can do that as well. And I want to say that it's a normal thing for people to be ambitious. And in an establishment like this, you need to follow the rule of the game. If they feel that you are the best to fly the cat of the party or whatever, you are good to go. It depends on individual. If you have been actively involved and they know that you have what it takes, excuse me, you have what it takes to represent a party, you have what it takes to represent your people. At the party level, probably you have the support of the party members. And in the course of the general election, if your people feels that you are the best for them, they will throw their support.
Now, Mr. Speaker, now that you are here, sorry, now that you are here, let's use the opportunity to also talk about this issue of herdsmen and using legislation to solve it. The Benue example has not been good. It didn't work for them using legislation to solve the problem. We also have a similar problem here in Ogun State. We may say it's not as potent, it's not as wide as we have in Benue, but it's existing here. And I know that the House of Assembly has also been involved in trying to mitigate and solve it through different committees set up and legislation. What is the state assembly doing? What are
Well,
you looking at to?
thank God you have been part and parcel of our activities from day one till now. Thank God before the issue become a national issue, we have put in place anti-land grabbing law that takes care of everything. Anti-land under, this particular law, it's all encompassing. It deals with issue of courtesy, kidnapping, and forcible taking over of properties and other crime like issues. And of course, you recall that probably last week or 2 weeks ago, thereabout, we just stepped down uh, a law seeking for the grazing regulation and establishment of cattle ranch establishments on the basis that we had in place a law that has taken care of that particular area. And there's no point for us to make law for the specific. And we want to appreciate the fact that just last week, the state government had, had their security council meeting, and at the end of the day, the secretary to the state government uh, came out and relayed the position of the state government in that regards. I want to appreciate the fact that we have actually foreseen this, and with the law in place, I believe that we have taken care of so many. Of course, we could still have some bucket of issues here and there, but we want to appeal to our people as well, because as a citizen of this country, we have that constitutional right to coexist. And of course, we've been having issues even before now, like I've said, before it become a national issue. And I want to appeal to them as well, to not to take laws into their hand. There's no point we can coexist without having one or two issues to sort. I think the best for us just to allow law to take its course.
For, for clarity, Mr. Speaker, in 2 minutes, because I don't, is it that you will not support the creation of a ranch because it will also mean double legislation for the law you have already?
You see, there are two different things as we speak. In some of these people we are talking about, when you look at the whole thing very well, majority of those that are rearing, cattle or animals, they are doing it for personal gain. But we are talking about the critical, the fundamental, issues regarding the herdsmen and the
Farmers or
farmers,
landowners.
landowners. So in such a situation, I think we can pass a resolution regarding establishment of cattle ranch. And when you are talking about cattle, we still have some of these. We have pig, we have some of these
Goats.
goats around. So we are going to pass law for them as well. You don't make law for the specific. And the issue of cattle ranch, as a professional who is involving in that particular area, the best bet for you is just to look for a way of going about your normal businesses without infringing on the right of others.
Other people.
All right, if you're just joining us, this is Citizens Forum on the Daybreak Show. This is very full Monday morning. We have at the studio Right Honorable Speaker Suraj Adekunbi, the Speaker of the Ogun State House of Assembly. We're looking at the rejected clauses of the amendments into the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. 18 passed by the State House of Assembly, 4 rejected by the House. Keep sending your messages to 32120, keep tweeting at Roxy FM, and of course you can drop by on our Facebook page and post your comments. We'll have to take a break now for the national news at 10. After the news, we'll be back, and the speaker will still be here in the studio. Stay with us.
Thank you for still being there listening to the Daybreak Show on Rock City 101.9 FM. Citizens Forum this morning, we have with us Right Honorable Suraj Adekunbi, Speaker, Ogun State House of Assembly, will straight on take telephone from you. And of course, he will also be reacting to a message that are already there on the short code and Twitter had. Of course, we can also join the conversation through the WhatsApp page. 0809868734 and 090914696670 for the telephone number.
Thank you, yeah, that's right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your contribution and comment. And of course, on the issue of salaries and wages of the local government pensioners, His Excellency the Governor has said time without number that he will do everything within his ability to ensure that everybody is being taken care of. And we want to appreciate you for your understanding and support.
0809868734. We'll take the calls. Hello.
The speakers for their submissions, their observations, and comments. On the issue of the ongoing constitutional amendment, I want to say that we have had several engagements with all the stakeholders. And you know that the amendment emanated from the National Assembly, and at that level, all the necessary input that are expected from the stakeholders has gone into it before the same was transmitted to the various houses of assembly. And when you are talking about the involvement of the constituents, truly we are the representative of our people, and whatever it is that is needed to put into it has been done at our level too. And of course, like I've said earlier, we had engagement with some of the stakeholders around the civil society and some of these NGOs around before we came up with what we are having at the moment. And I want to say that to a great extent, we have been doing our bit as a true representative of our people. On the issue of local government autonomy, the truth is the NOGE and some of the stakeholders in that particular sector, they had their contribution even before the whole thing got to the state houses of assembly. I could remember that we had a seminar regarding that in Abuja, where we were educated, we are duly informed on the consequences of our actions and inactions regarding that particular bill. And I want to say that the reason why the two items were separated was best known to our people at the National Assembly. And in a situation whereby you are given this, you have to come up with a position. And what we have done regarding that to us in the House of Assembly to us is the best of judgment regarding that. And of course, the biggest room in the world is room for improvement. I want to say that the current alteration is not going to be the last anyway. So when we put this into practice, whatever the shortcomings, I think we still have room for improvement regarding that. On the issue of pension, of course, it's still among the same issue. It's still about funding. And the current administration, I'm not the governor, and this is I can comment on what His Excellency has already said at different fora. We have been doing everything within our ability to ensure that we take care of those people that have served our state that particular level to take very good care of them. And of course, we believe that there's still room for improvement. Everybody understands the reality on ground, and Ogun State, in Ogun State here, the government been doing everything in their ability to put smiles into the faces of our pensioners. And Mr. Arabambi, I want to appreciate you for your comments, and I believe that what we are saying is still uh, we are still talking about how best to have a good approach to our flight at that particular level. And of course, as the House of Assembly, our responsibility has not changed. And we have been doing everything to support the local government at that particular level. And His Excellency the Governor, Senator NFC, has come out with that number to update all of us about the position of things regarding our local government. And we are saying that once we know that some are tribal, some are not tribal, why we have to create one, our position still remains very clear regarding that. We are talking about the allocation from the national level, and it's something that is not new to everybody. Thank God you say you are in the system before and you understand how it works. The truth is, of course, at our level too, uh, the government has been doing everything to ensure that we have an improvement on what is obtainable when we came on board.
All right, let's start around with the calls. Let's quickly do justice to the tweets now and messages. This one from Abdul Fabini says, Right Honorable Sir, it's nice to meet you for the second time here at Roxbury FM. Please help us do something about Dakar Road before 2019. Right. Um, and the cabinet tweeted that. Mujdin Abimbola tweeted this. Honorable Speaker, sir, please, we will want you and the entire of the State House of Assembly to support the inclusion of the Nigeria Security and Self-Defense Corps (NSCDC) in the Constitution Amendment. To the Catholic tweeted this. The overbearing influence of state governments over the local governments will always render the third tier of governments that are supposed to be closest to the people incapacitated. Separation of powers and revenue generation remains a vital antidote to activate the local government's potential. Surakat Ayodo says, why is the state crying more than believed? The custodians of the local governments have opined that autonomy of the local governments is the way forward. So I see no reason for rejection. Please let me ask, is the money state receiving from the Federation Allocation Committee enough for main affairs of the state? A famous Michael tweeted this. Since there is a constitutional backup for the three tiers of government, common sense tells us that states' House of Assemblies rejected this bill is influenced politically, basically because of their future ambition as governors. Let local governments be independent on their own. Local government that is more closer to the people won't grow until they can have access to their individual funds. Sabotaging them on the platter of check and balance is absurd. Local governments that is okay. I think we tweeted that twice. To the Catholic once again, Honorable Speaker, as a contender for the governorship seat in Ogun State, how do you intend to ensure local governments are viable and deliver democratic dividends at the grassroots? And how will you ensure activation of all model schools constructed?
I'm sorry, Philip Barry, I'm not taking political questions
Questions.
in this occasion.
All right, Delena Jishafe tweeted this. Mr. Speaker, can you list sincerely some, okay, once again, that is not what we're looking at this morning. Dr. Dele Hugo tweeted this. Local governments need financial autonomy to bring service to the grassroots. Denying them this will not serve democracy. Why not Coco abrogate the local governments if we can't give them financial autonomy? All right, more tweets. So this one from at Polygon. What is the State House of Assembly doing to stop the problem of herdsmen in Kumi and the whole of Ohori land? Why is it that you and your house they don't speak out when the herdsmen attack Kumi residents until they kill somebody in a Mekong recently? So Rakat Abiodun says because the state had taken over almost all the revenue accrued to the local government is the reason for this decision. Let the state assembly tell the state to free revenue belonging to the local government, and I believe with that they should be able to survive. Abe Fagwemi says also the role of minimum wages in Nigeria was the constitution. What does the constitution have to do with it? Abe Fagwemi is treating that. At Kule Gab once again, what have you done to settle the rift between your benefactor, Chief Oshoba, and Governor Muso? Okay, that's Kunle Gab. That's not what we are discussing. If the local government is given the autonomy, being the closest to the people, they should also have the financial autonomy too. That's Kunle Gab once again. Yemi Phillips Da Vinci is tweeting this. In my estimation, the reason many local governments are not viable is simply because of their takeover of their money, making channels like signage and market dues by the state. Okay, let me re- let me read that again. In my estimation, the reason many local governments are not viable is simply because of the takeover of their money-making channels like signage and market dues by the state. You cannot stunt the growth and use the stunted growth against local government. Not tenable, sir. If Musu Michael once again, the speaker said some local governments are not viable, and yet the governor created more LCDs. Isn't that misplaced priority? State governments are not helping local governments. They should have access to their monies. And colleague Gab tweeted this. Security-wise, what is the House of Assembly doing to protect the Ohoris? from the hand of killer headsmen entering through Benin Republic. Between Ijong and Komi land, there is no police station. What can you do to facilitate this? All right, speaker. You want to
But
continue?
regarding the Dakar Road, I think when you look at the ongoing construction at Ayodo, you see that this development has to start from somewhere, and there's a plan in place to take care of all those areas. And I want to believe that very very soon something will commence in that particular area. Regarding the issue of viability and non-viability of local government, I didn't say that. I was just talking about the allocation from the nation, from the
Federation account.
federation account rather. I was just talking about that. I didn't say that they are not
Right.
viable. I think there are two different things here. Regarding the issue of NSCDC, that has been taken care of. We have done that, and we have transmitted same to the National Assembly for further actions.
The Ohori people.
On the issue of the Ori people, I think we have talked about that when we started. We have anti-land grabbing law in place that has taken care of all of those areas. And of course, I just mentioned that if you notice any strange movement, it's builds on us as a resident of that particular area to get across to the security agents in that particular area. And I want to give it to our security operatives for their efforts in keeping our place secure for us at all time. So if you notice anything, I think the best way for us is just to get across to the appropriate quarters for immediate intervention.
All right, we have some short messages here. This one says, "Good morning, Right Honorable Speaker, and the anchor in the studio. Uh, Please don't restrict questions to key areas, even as cattle business and ranching was asked by Mr. Dele Ayodo. However, may Allah preserve you and strengthen you to be invited soonest when the wider scope will be available." That's Kadi from Rwanda. Okay, local government system has been hijacked by nearly all the state government in the country. That's coming from Shuaga. Ikechukwu Lisa says, "My speaker, may your home be blessed. The problem of this country is above the constitution amendment because it has been amended since 1999, yet nothing has changed. As for ordinary Nigerians like me, I think that the common man and the market men and women, private organizations, and what have you, should also contribute to the constitution amendments, not only the lawmakers, because most of them are not really representing us well." Okay, those are the shocking messages. Let's take these calls and then we'll come back and take them.
Yeah, let's take it.
Well, let me appreciate you all for being part of this program. Well, Mr. Omitogun, I couldn't get your comments, your question. I couldn't get it well, and of course, I believe that the local governments at their level they are working around the clock to make an impact, because once an assignment is given, it's up to them to think out of box to ensure that they deliver on the mandate given to them at all levels. Because in the state, when we came on board, we all understand what we met on ground, and as we speak today, we actually understand the difference as well. And regarding the issue of independent candidature, it's a matter of choice. It's a matter of choice. Whether it's something that is practicable or workable, it's a matter of choice. So that shouldn't pose any issue. The best way, I need to appreciate you for the commendation, and I want to believe that the little we have done so far has been as a result of the cooperation of everybody.
Now, Tobi, before you check the tweet, Speaker, there is this issue also raised from the messages and telephone calls, where local governments make their money, the different area constitutionally given to them to make money has been taken over by the state government. What is the assembly, the legislators doing in this regard to at least help these local governments?
Well, the truth is, uh, state government cannot do anything without having that necessary law to back their actions. And where people are talking about, or what people are talking about, I don't know. It depends. If probably they can just, if they can be specific.
You know, they're talking about signages, they're talking about park and garages, money component, tenement rate. These are some of the areas where
You see, let me
local
just tell you
government make their
this.
money.
Yes, they might be right, but the truth of the matter is that at that level, I wouldn't know whether they have gone out to meet people, and probably people, the so-called public, turn them down by not, paying same to the local government. It depends.
No,
The
Speaker,
the
the
local
truth right now is
the
many of this money is being collected by the states.
I wouldn't know. State government has their own, area of concentration, and we have laws in place that actually provided, you know, to there's a provision of law that are backing them, backing our action in the state. And at the local government level, I wouldn't know. Those people that are talking, just ask them if the so-called the rate officers get to their shops or whatever, their response. That's why we will continue to appeal to our people to demonstrate that high level of responsibility and cooperation to all the arms of government, to all the tiers of government at that level. The issue of signage and some other area they are talking about, I don't know. There is also a provision for them to have their own share of the whole thing. There's always there's still a provision for them. The issue of not getting anything, I wouldn't know. They have their own areas too.
Okay.
All right, let's
Messages.
quickly take this tweet. This one from Yemi Phillips Da Vinci says, I want to congratulate the Ogun State House of Assembly on the passing of the Not Too Young to Run bill. In as much as I don't think we, the present young people, are ready, one do not make laws for specifics, like the Speaker said. LaRose tweeted this, Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm imploring you to use your good office and see to the inclusion of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps in the Constitution through the present review.
I think I've said that has been
It's
done.
been taken care of.
Yes.
Suragat Ayodo says, please let the Speaker talk about the revenue taken over by the state, which should ordinarily be in the purview of the local government. Someone just mentioned market and signage dues, which should be collected by the local governments, but the state now collect it. I think the Speaker has talked about this.
But the truth is, we are to make laws for effective governance, and the issue of collection. At least once in that sort of assembly, I wouldn't know our involvement in that area.
All right, let's take more of the calls. 0809 868 7344 0909 146 9670. Hello, who's
At
on?
least for making reference to our discussion the other time I came on here regarding the water corporation issue at Olumori. I want to say that uh, since I got back, I've been working on that, and I was expecting a kind of feedback. Since you say you are residing at Olumori, I'm living at Olumori too. You can even just take a walk to my place, at least, and discuss, probably say with me, because when we are talking about our issue like this, to me concerns everybody, and I want to appreciate you for making your contribution. And regarding the issue of S-men, before it became the national issue. Of course, like you have rightly put it, we have been having issue at Yewa North, in Yewa North there, and the government has been highly responsive in that regard. And of course, you recall that in 2013, we had the stakeholders forum that included some of the stakeholders from the neighboring country. We went as far as Mali, Togo, Ghana to at least to be part of this that particular stakeholders forum, and there we were able to really dwell much in all those issues that are actually responsible for that crisis. And thank God that as a result of that, the state government was able to come up with a law. The law we are talking about is still anti-land grabbing law. And under that law, I've said it and I've explained myself that it's a law that covered so many ground, so many crime like ground. And I want to say that whether it's men or other crime is crime. And when you look at that, for us to make law regarding that particular area, to me, it amounts to duplication of effort. And I've explained, and the government has come out to explain our position regarding that particular area. Nobody will be happy seeing his people killed. We are not happy about that. I want to appreciate the fact that we have been putting things under control in Ogun State, and we are hoping for an improvement. And we pray that at least at national level as well, at least God should give us that grace, at least to put it to contain that particular menace.
All right, let's add the street. This one says the truth of the matter is that all the laws promulgated by states to take over the revenue base of local governments are unconstitutional. If the local governments, especially Ogun, are not ducklings, they should have challenged this in court. This is why I miss Gani Faremi, that's Yemi Phillips Da Vinci. Richard Craig tweeted this: Mr. Speaker, sir, can the State Assembly use a veto power against the suspended cattle open grazing bills? Is there any bill in place for the affected farmers? Ismail Oloyede says, as much as we are all yearning and clamoring for the autonomy of the local governments, I would think it is desirable. However, my fear is that the executive chairman will become emperors and abuse the local government administration. It will be unavoidably inevitable. I think they need supervision of the governors. Ogunwale Kolawole says people won't respond to local governments because they have failed and they are not responding to their duties. All right, so because of our time, Speaker, we'll not be able to take any more calls. Your final reactions to the last set of tweets and comments.
I want to appreciate our people at least for taking their time to be part of this program this morning. Indeed, all the commendations and the observation were taken, and of course, as the head of the legislative arm of government, will continue to do a bit to support the executive and the judiciary arm of government, and towards doing our best for the good people of Ogun State. And of course, we want to appreciate you at least for your cooperation, understanding, and that cooperation that you have exhibited since we came on board. Since 2011, and as the representative of our people, at least we are duty bound to deliver on the mandate given to us by the good people of Ogun State. We really appreciate you. Thank you and God bless you.
All right, thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker Suraj Adekunbi. We appreciate you. Thank you for
thank you, Tobi.
All right, we want to appreciate every one of you too, those who called, those who sent messages, those who tweeted, and those who posted on our various social media platforms and also on WhatsApp. We appreciate every one of you. Join us again tomorrow. And of course, I want to use this opportunity to say a happy 80 birthday celebration to Kabiyesi Oshile Okeregba Oba Dr. Adedapo Adewale
Thank you.
Tejuosho. You say Baba Ekwefuwa.
All right, that will be it for the day. Tomorrow we'll be back fresh on the program. Dele Ayodo is my name. I say God bless you all. God bless Nigeria, and God bless Rock City.
And I am